Hi, my name's Jessica. I'm a tattoo artist from London, and this is Shirts and Skins. So I think when I first started to actually recognize tattoos as maybe a body art or something I was interested in, I was probably about 13 or 14. And I remember I used to be in class, I would always just doodle on my hands and stuff like that. And I guess for me, that was subconsciously maybe the beginning of my interest in like body art and just art on the skin. For me, it's probably quite like a weird story with my tattoo. When I was 15, I went to Colombia because my auntie has like a circus for street kids there. I was teaching English to the street kids, and one of the girls I was staying with, she was gonna get one of her tattoos finished, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll get a tattoo. But like, I'd never thought of even wanting one or anything like that before. She's like, okay, come. Even though I was only 15, probably shouldn't have been doing it. Got to the shop and I was like, oh, just want like some tropical flowers on my foot in color. And like, I'm brown and I didn't even know that color wasn't really the thing. They're like, yeah, sure. And because I was underage, they were like, come when the shop's closed. So I came when the shop was closed, and yeah, started getting my foot done. I didn't know what to expect, but I was quite good with pain, so it didn't really affect me. It was a great experience for me. Yeah, probably not the normal one, but it's definitely one I remember, and I'm actually super happy that that was my first experience with getting tattoos. Got home, and then my dad saw it, and he was like, what's that, a stick-on tattoo? I was like, no, daddy. I got it in Colombia. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, well, it's done now. What can we do? Do you like it? And he was like, oh, I guess. And that was that. But after that, I didn't even, like, it was just a one-off experience. You know, sometimes you just do things and you don't necessarily read into it more. And like I said, I just didn't really know about tattoos that much before that. So it was just, I just got a tattoo. It was literally just like, almost like a passing thing, like, okay, I've got a tattoo. And where like my family don't have tattoos, I was young, so no one else around me had tattoos. It wasn't like, cool, I've started something and I can't stop. Like tattoos was never like a career choice in my mind before, because I always thought I was just gonna do music. So yeah, it didn't really pass my mind that I wanted more. It wasn't that I was disappointed in the one that I had or anything, it was just that so much other stuff came up. The next time that I got a tattoo was basically the beginning of my tattoo career as well. I met this guy and he was living in East Acton at the time, and obviously like I'm from West London, so it was close to me. And he was tattooing from his house, and he was just doing all like the trap guys, like the rappers. And yeah, I started to chill with him. And my sister was like a passing comment. She's like, oh, Jess, you like to draw? Maybe you should tattoo. I was like, oh, yeah, maybe I should. But like I said, I never thought that that was ever a thing, because I thought I was just gonna do music. Learning kind of before I'd started doing any tattoos, how it was done, even like the process with the customers. And then after a while, it was like, cool, Jess, it's time to tattoo. And I did, the first tattoo I did was a tiny star on my friend's leg. He acted like I was hitting his bone. I genuinely wasn't. I was going so light, it didn't even bleed, but healed beautifully. And from that, because I did it for free, it was my friend, I was like, I'm not stressed about this. My first paying customer was like the most stressful thing I'd ever done. She was a girl and she wanted to get mum on her neck. And it was small, it wasn't even like I had room for error. And I just remember being like, okay, like trying to control my hands because I was just like freaking out in my head. Anyway, managed to hold it together and did that. And then from then it was like, cool, this is what I'm doing. All my life, I've been the biggest fan of Stevie Wonder, and I just thought, because I played the piano since I was 8 years old, a man that cannot see plays the piano, plays the harmonica, plays all these instruments. I just thought he's like superhuman. So I've always been the biggest fan of him. And I did a portrait of him on my own thigh, and I basically did it upside down. And I thought, cool, if I can do it, I mean, if I can do it, then it's gonna be all right. And the way I did it was I stuck the picture on upside down, and I basically read it as if the picture was that way. And it took about 12 hours. But that was my favorite one. And then next to it, I tattooed Nina Simone. So I'm kind of trying to create a thigh piece of like musicians and idols that I have. Also, I've got a portrait of my grandma on my forearm, which I got, thankfully, before she died, even though she had Alzheimer's, so she wouldn't have even really got to see it, like, or understand what it meant. But like the tattoo artist that did it, did it so accurate. And you know, my granddad hates tattoos, and every time he sees it, oh, Jessica, you're scarring your skin. But this one, he tells all his friends to like come and look at it. So this one is definitely one of my favorites too. Actually, all the ones on my arms are really nice and smooth, so I really like that. And I got a really stupid one here of like 2 stick men. I like stupid stuff, so that works for me. I always had this idea that I was going to be like covered on the sides, like have my front empty and my back empty, but have like 2 sleeves, 2 thighs, like that. And then I just got a little bit sidetracked focusing on doing like other people's tattoos. And when you're so focused on tunnel vision on like being better at your art and making sure the stuff that you do is great, you kind of neglect the collection that you're, you know, in the process of doing. So at the moment, I haven't got any like really in the forefront of my mind what I want to get. Maybe finish off my thigh, but I'm just more concerned about the quality that I'm doing on everyone else. So like I can wait, but I'm getting older, so I should probably do it soon before I become a raisin. Like on my white side, my granddad's really anti tattoos. Every time he sees them, I'm like, you're marking your skin. But then my grandma on my Guyanese side, I tattoo her like to this day. Like the last tattoo I did on her was maybe like 5 months ago. So, you know, it's like the stark contrast of like half my family super supporting it and half not. So with my grandma, like she heard I was tattooing and she was just like super proud. I don't know why, maybe she'd always wanted to get a tattoo. She never really explained like the reason why behind it, but I don't know, how old was she? 68, something like that. And I was working in Park Royal and this is like, I'd only been tattooing a year or so with a little Guyanese actually like, Jessica, I want a little tattoo on my breast. And I was like, okay, Nanny, you think you ain't a little bit old for that? She's like, just a little rose on my breast. And I was like, okay, cool. Ended up, she wanted this rose, this big initial, I mean, her boobs are like big. She's one of them big West Indian ladies. But the rose was like damn near a whole sleeve. We did that and she loved it. And then she came back the next week. She's like, I just want a little butterfly on my arm. I was like, okay, Nanny. And then she's like, just want a little dove. And literally, she's got about 15 tattoos. And when I tell you, the last one we did was from the top of her leg down to the bottom. She's got butterflies and flowers on one and like roses on the other, breast, arms, wrist. And now she's just like, I don't want any more. I just want 2 more on my knees. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense, Nanny. Stop. But, you know, she's old. What has she got to lose? I'm just like, cool, I'll tattoo you until you don't want any more. And she always wants more. So I think for me, that's probably the most sentimental customer I have, you know, being that generation coming from Guyana, you know, and it being like frowned upon over there. It's a different world. And then for her to be like so proud of me as her granddaughter, to let me like scar her, is just, yeah, I feel very privileged. And she's always showing it off when she goes to like Grenada and stuff like that. So all the men love my tattoos. So it's cute. Cat, should we get this cat out? Yeah. Come on, you're ruining my shot.